everyone. We are back with another Q&A episode. I am your co-host, Coach Mack, the founding health coach of Running with Bacon, where I help women transform into the fittest, strongest mamas they can be, one small step at a time. And like always, I am joined by our amazing co-host, Renata.
Hello, everyone. I'm Renata from Nourish with Renata, your intuitive nutrition coach. I'm here to empower women to nourish their bodies, minds, and spirits.
That you are, and we're so glad for it. And for our cue today, we actually have one from Instagram. So before we record periodically throughout the month, we will post question stickers in our Instagrams, which we'll link both below in the description box. But you can ask us your question so that we can answer it here on our series. And this one comes from Anne, and she was asking specifically for me because she knows where Renata lives, but Renata's still going to answer this question. But how do you stay on track with fitness and workouts and stuff when it gets so cold and snowy? So, Renata, being in Texas, share what you do.
Yes. So because I'm not in more northern states like you are, we don't typically have cold and snowy weather. I will say typically it does get pretty cold for us. So right now it's in the 30s Fahrenheit here. So it is pretty chilly. So I don't have the same problems, let's say, that many people in the northern states do. However, my advice here is to stop living in those northern states and to move south. You're welcome. Hashtag Texas tourism. Just kidding. But really, when it is cold, I still walk outside. I still do my home workouts or gym workouts. But honestly, I feel like Mac is the perfect person to answer this question, maybe with less jokes.
I don't think I can top any of those jokes. So I will answer in earnest that yes. So I am currently living in New York State, and it does get quite snowy and even icy and very cold. So it can be a bit of a challenge. So a couple of things that I do to stay on track. Number one being, you mentioned them, home workouts. So actually, most of my workouts for myself, because I do the ones for my Fit by Bit membership, are all ones that you can do from your house with minimal equipment, if any. And so that's number one. You don't even have to drive to the gym. So if the roads are bad, you can still just go to your guest room or your living room, wherever you have room for a yoga mat, and still get it done. So that's number one. Number two, I get stir crazy, so I do still like to go outside. And instead of running, because it actually gets dangerous to run on like those really slushy, slick roads, is I will either ruck, which if you follow me on Instagram, which you should, follow both of us, but I love rucking. It's basically, if you think like in the army, how they have their weighted rucksack, and they use way heavier rucks than I do. I use like a 20, 25 pound weight in my backpack, and then I just walk. And it's quite pleasant because I still get to be outside. I'm doing more than walking, which walking is still exercise, don't worry, but it's more of a challenge. It gets my cardio up more, and it feels like a more strenuous thing, which it is. And so I ruck, and then also I walk a lot outside. And the most important thing you can do for cold and snowy weather is to have the right gear. And so if you are warm and it's still cold and snowy outside, but if you have the proper gear to be warm, it can make all the difference. You can spend hours outside rucking around, walking around, playing in the snow, and it still is really enjoyable and really fun. And it doesn't have to be the big puffy, I'm thinking like the Christmas Carol kid where he's like basically a big marshmallow man. You don't have to get stuff like that. They have very flexible and like thin thermal layers that you can wear now, that it makes it really comfortable to be outside and stay warm and still be able to move around like you want. So those would kind of be my top tips for still enjoying it. But I mean, sometimes it's just going to suck a little bit. So I know not everybody wants to hear that, but if it's not your jam, then just do an inside workout that day.
Yeah. And I think one thing that we both mention a lot is find some way of movement that feels really fun and really good for you. So that could be walking outside, rucking outside. It could be finding like an amazing dance cardio workout that you can do inside. I mean, just throwing it out there. But whatever makes you feel good, I love that. It's going to totally lift your spirits no matter what the weather, and you're going to feel really good about yourself for moving your body.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be traditional. Like just because you can't run or on days that you can't run, you can still, like, if it's that snowy, you can go cross country skiing or snowshoeing or like have a snowball fight with your kids or, stuff like that. It doesn't have to be just running because that's what you think of exercise has to be. So get creative and play do fun stuff. That's
Yeah.
really about it. And
That's
stay
it. Or
warm.
move. Yeah.
Yeah, or move to Texas.
We will have you. Click my link below for my affiliate link to move to Texas. Just kidding.
She might have one coming soon. I'll put
Yeah.
it down there when she does.
Okay, thanks. Yay! That's all we have for you today. That was a great question, Anne. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.